Hello, Aggie Research Network. This is a presentation provided by the Texas Freedom Colonies Project. My name is Jennifer Blanks, and I'll be presenting with two of our undergraduate junior researchers.
Hi, my name is Kendall Geralt.
And my name is Chelsea Parada.
This summer, the Texas Freedom Colonies Project has been actively working to increase the number of freedom colonies on the Atlas, expand our network, and produce research. In order to actively achieve these objectives, the team has added 4 overarching goals to keep us on track. These goals were to support the completion of data collection and analysis for public reading lists and publications. This includes submitting articles for publication, doctoral students submitting fellowship applications, and curating reading lists to create Juneteenth and Freedom Colonies histories. Number 2, maintain the integrity and functionality of the Atlas by removing duplicated data points and adding unmapped freedom colonies to the database. Number 3 was to increase website visits and Atlas entries, build community among supporters, and educate the public about freedom colonies. With this, we promoted our platform at various conferences this summer, increased our social media presence, and introduced our coffee talk series. And lastly, we increased the number of survey entries, raised awareness, and facilitated data collection for research and capacity building. This summer, we launched our Adopt a Colony campaign and announced our partnership with the Root Cause Research Center Consulting Group, who will help us expand the Texas Freedom Colonies Atlas.
We organized and cleaned this database to find more mapped freedom colonies for the Atlas. The Feature Type Resolution Project is a study of how many cemeteries, water features, census-designated places, churches, and schools still remain in our freedom colonies. This project showed us by the numbers how many physical buildings and other features that remain in freedom colonies today.
In order to provide an easy-to-digest quantitative view of our feature types, we have a diagram here to show the relative frequency in which these still standing structures appear. The majority have come from the U.S. Geological Survey, where they serve as an authoritative source for official geographic feature names, including those of physical and cultural value. We've been able to go through their extensive system to find features which are associated with freedom colonies. Some other features that have been found have come from surveys of the communities and our own research. Our findings show that just how unevenly distributed our features are, with few freedom colonies not reporting any at all. Our hope is to incentivize members of these freedom colony communities to add what structures they find as well. We hope to exhaust every possible resource to provide the best up-to-date data we can. This is why a large part of what we do comes from the community. We rely on surveys to provide us with information we may not have found before or on our own, receiving 3 new surveys this last month alone. Both our Black Settlement Survey and our Storyteller Survey gives community members from freedom colonies an opportunity to have their voices heard and tell their stories. This is not only to increase the amount of features to report, but new freedom colonies as well. Protecting, preserving, and digitizing this history is what we do, and getting feedback from real people with real stories to share is the best way we can do that.
The Texas Freedom Colony research team has several map layer projects underway. Adding a layer to the map means that we have added an entire database of information that has been laid atop of the Freedom Colony locations. When this layer is added atop the Freedom Colony locations, the viewer is able to see possible relationships between freedom colonies and opportunities for descendants to voice their concerns of possible threats regarding infrastructure projects or development. For example, we have just added 2 separate Texas Department of Transportation layers. One layer of the red line shows transportation projects that are underway or will begin soon. The layer filled with the blue line shows future projects projected in the next 4 years. Both of these layers are now included on the Atlas. Our goal is to enable descendants who may not be full-time residents or landowners, but may still be stakeholders, to remain aware of what is happening in their communities. Being made aware ahead of time means that descendants aren't on the defense, and then they have the opportunity to ask questions and proactively co-plan with public agencies.
Over the summer, we started posting more heavily on social media, adding content such as the Freedom Colony profiles, which showcase freedom colonies with stories that have been submitted by Atlas users, in some cases using images that have also been submitted by Atlas users. We also started our Did You Know posts that list facts about Freedom Colonies with data from the Atlas. Increasing our social media presence helps spread the word about the project, which leads to more stories incoming and more opportunities for collaboration and outreach to Freedom Colony descendants whom we may not yet have reached.
The Texas Freedom Colonies Project created the Adopt a County campaign to increase the number of Freedom Colonies stories and locations we add to the Atlas. We add new information about communities to the Atlas in several ways, including asking descendants and others to locate and upload data. The team invites community members to identify a county they are interested in completing these tasks. A county is complete when we have located the missing colonies. Adopting a county will mean that team leaders will collect stories, images, photos, surveys, documents, maps, and other material and scan it so it can be uploaded to our Texas Freedom Colony Project Atlas and database. With the help of the community members and supporting networks, we can locate, map, and host complete mini archives for every county in which Freedom Colonies are located. The Adopt a County goals are to 1, identify and support a network of descendant leaders for Freedom Colonies. 2, identify Freedom Colony locations. 200 Freedom Colonies remain on our list of 557 places named. Number 3, locate additional Freedom Colonies that are not on the 557 list of known names. Number 4, identify Freedom Colony origin stories. Number 5, increase traffic to Freedom Colonies Atlas and social media platforms. And lastly, number 6, build community by locating advisors, supporters, and advocates. The Texas Freedom Colonies Project also launched a monthly series, Coffee Talk, in May 2020. Coffee Talk is a monthly dialogue about a specific specialty topic where we invite scholars, professionals, and Texas Freedom Colony descendants to share their perspectives on a topic. Our specialty topics thus far include Black funeral homes, navigating COVID-19, the history of Juneteenth in Texas, museum curation, and honoring burial grounds and cemeteries in the African American communities. The Coffee Talk goals are to 1, provide a platform for descendants to share their issues and needs for their community. Number 2, connect communities to invited professionals who provide resources needed to address the community's concerns. And number 3, increase outreach and engagement with not only descendants, but also with advocates and allies who are interested in Black settlement preservation. Thank you so much for viewing our presentation. To stay updated with the progress of the Texas Freedom Colonies Project, sign up for our monthly newsletter at the TexasFreedomColoniesProject.com and also connect with us on our various platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. And you can be sure to watch our Coffee Talk videos and other press release on YouTube. Thank you so much.